50 Cent is roasting Diddy after reports claimed he's been assigned laundry duty at Fort Dix, while Diddy handles chores behind bars. 50 is cracking jokes on the outside and clowning him every chance he gets.
Diddy is airing out dirty laundry for inmates. They said Sean Diddy Combs is being put to work behind bars, and his first federal prison job has him doing an old fluff and fold. That's probably what Diddy was ordering with those escorts. A fluff and fold special. Sources familiar with the situation tell us Diddy's first gig at Fort Dix in New Jersey plants him in the laundry room, washing and drying dirty clothes. Manual labor may come as a shock to Diddy. During his criminal trial, federal prosecutors claimed he couldn't even charge his own phone or fetch a bottle of water and would send his army of personal assistants to basically do everything for him.
Diddy has been moved to Fort Dix in New Jersey, and reports say he's now on laundry duty. The man who once lived in luxury is reportedly washing clothes for others and adjusting to a far more basic lifestyle. TMZ also claims officials caught him drinking homemade prison hooch, a sharp contrast from his former billionaire image.
Okay, to start with, toilet wine turns out is a misnomer. The toilet is mostly a hiding place, and God knows it is not really wine, right? And Sean Diddy Combs is not the first prison inmate to get busted with it, allegedly. But Diddy may be the first to have once owned a vodka brand worth upwards of $1 billion. That would be Ciroc, which sold officially earlier this year for a fraction of that price. Ciroc is distilled 5 times from the finest French grapes, or so it claims. Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples. And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff, this week in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit apparently as punishment, but the officials changed their minds according to the report.
This mistake could cost Diddy extra time behind bars. He was sent to Fort Dix specifically to join a drug rehab program that can knock more than a year off an inmate sentence. Diddy had claimed during the trial that he was sober for the first time in 25 years. But now people are questioning whether that was ever true.
Yeah, so it's called hooch. Basically, is different ways to make it. You can make it with orange peels. You can make it with sugar. It is all different ways. But what a lot of people don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it can blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. But it can get you drunk, and it could also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know as far as them saying he's going to move him out of the unit. I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits, and also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober? He'd been working, on a sobriety at the MDC, and now he's at Fort Dix. And if this is true, if the report's true, might they say, well, screw it, you're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence?
Right, so it don't work like that, but every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is two different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back. So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back. Or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
Ex-inmates claim Diddy likely bought the hooch from others and had to make it for his birthday last week, his second one behind bars. Rumors say the whole situation is getting to him, and his behavior suggests the pressure is starting to show.
It takes a while to make. It's not just an overnight thing. This takes days to make it. And remember, it smells really bad, so you have to have a good hiding spot. It's very strong.
Oh, it does smell. Okay, so that's the other thing. So the toilet tank is why you're hiding it from the view of the guards, not necessarily the temperature of the toilet tank is, optimal for the fermentation of the lovely hooch, But so they put it in the toilet tank, and then how does the toilet tank fill up with water to flush? You pull it out, do your business, and flush, and then put it back in?
Yes. So like I said, these people that usually do make it, are very good at it, and they actually charge to make it. So in prison, in federal prison, everything's a business. So he probably paid somebody to actually hold that in their cell and make it for his birthday. I guess it was his birthday that came up, and they will make this alcohol beverage for you. But what's confusing to me is that when you're in the feds, usually there's a crooked CO that'll just bring you in an actual bottle of vodka. So I don't know why they even made it.
Serious?
Yes. Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Yes.
So the whole thing you just said about them selling the toilet wine, I feel like Diddy wouldn't have to buy it. There'd be a lot of people who'd want to be friends with Diddy, and they'd be handing it over. Really?
No, they know how much money he has. Everybody's so happy that he's in the jail right now because they see currency. So all they're doing right now is going up to his cell and trying to sell him everything that they have possible. Actually, trying to get on salary with him to make his bed, clean his cell, go extra shopping for him, extra phone calls, cell phones, anything they can. They're all going to his cell trying to sell something to him because they know he has money. They do it to everybody with money in those jails.
What's even more surprising is that Hooch isn't the only thing Diddy is rumored to be spending money on. Reports suggest he may be paying other inmates for favors and extra help, which is common in low-security facilities. In places like Fort Dix, high-profile inmates often rely on others for support, and some prisoners will even take responsibility for minor rule violations in exchange for benefit.
Only being paid 23 cents an hour. This is nothing to him. He thinks he's too good, and the fact that the Bureau of Prisons put him on laundry duty, I don't know. I feel like, plus, isn't it? I don't know. I feel like somebody in the Bureau of Prisons is literally having a key. I think the laundry job is the Bureau of Prisons way of saying, congratulations, you welcome, come in here. You ain't no better than anybody else. Now get to work.
Diddy's team denies the Hooch story entirely, calling it false. At the same time, they claim that if Diddy does slip up, it's simply part of his personal growth. His official account even posted, then deleted, a message saying the rumors about Mr. Combs being caught with alcohol are false. His focus is on becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family.
Diddy Combs is setting the record straight about his life behind bars, following a report that said the rap mogul, who is serving a 4-year sentence for 2 prostitution-related convictions, was caught drinking homemade alcohol in prison. His spokesperson emphatically denies the allegation, telling People magazine in a statement published November 9th, there have been several false and reckless reports circulating about Mr. Combs. He has not violated any prison rules. His sobriety and self-discipline are priorities, and he is taking them seriously. The 56-year-old was recently transferred to a low-security correctional facility in New Jersey after spending over a year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the new institution, he was alleged to have created a mixture of Fanta, sugar, and apples, which ferments into alcohol after 2 weeks, TMZ reported. The spokesperson continues, this is only his first week at FCI Fort Dix, and unfortunately, rumors will surface throughout his time there. We ask the public and press to give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth, and the grace to move forward in peace.
This didn't surprise anyone. Gene had already predicted this months ago, saying Diddy's changed man image and rehab talk were just for show. He believes Diddy never truly regretted anything, and to him, these new Hooch allegations only reinforce that idea.
I don't give a flying F about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a facade. It's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He had enough money way before he got to jail. If he wanted to do something to get himself right, to get off drugs, he could have got the best doctors. You understand? He could have gotten the best treatment facility. If he wanted to stop beating women, he could have got some psychological help. He could have bought the best that money could buy. So all this shit is just to get his sorry ass out to jail. And 9 times out of 10, it usually helps. How many times you ever seen a leopard change his spots? He only taking those programs, bro, to get out of jail. And I don't, most people do that. I don't blame him, but he ain't gonna change, man. You understand? Because he know he got away with a whole lot of shit. Ain't no way those 27, those 30-something people, got up there on the stand, testify. You heard the testimony. You heard what they did. You understand? And he got away with murder, bro. Practically. He got away with murder, man. So he ain't gonna change. In his eyes, he won. Even though he did a year or so behind the bars, in his eyes, he won.
Not drinking was one of Diddy's release conditions, since the judge wanted his sobriety monitored. As part of the terms, he's required to complete a drug rehab program to stay on track.
Look, a lot of these conditions sound pretty harsh, but they're pretty standard. Things, as you mentioned, like no contact with victims, also no contact with other criminals, no access to firearms, also unsupervised, or visits, drop-in visits from probation officers at any time, mandatory employment. So many of these are standard. But what I do think is notable is the addition of required treatment programs. And it's not just one, right? It is domestic violence, but also drug abuse and also mental health. The reason why it's so notable is because we all remember the defense described this as a modern love story. And even though Combs was acquitted of the most egregious charges, it's really a message from the court saying there's really still something that is not right here. There's treatment that is required. There's issues that need to be resolved.
Meanwhile, reports say Diddy has been telling inmates that if they support him and look out for him, he'll help their careers later. TMZ claims he even bragged about possibly getting a pardon and promised to take care of anyone who stood by him. Some believe he's saying these things because he doesn't have much else to offer and wants people in his corner.
Diddy, the baby oil booty bandit, is in Fort Dix prison right now, bragging that Donald Trump is going to pardon him at the beginning of next year. So in case you didn't catch it, Diddy was sentenced to 50 months in prison. He already had like 13 in. That means that he could be out within like 2 years. But he's in prison right now telling his bunkmates, that he's going to be getting a pardon at the beginning of next year from Donald Trump. And that once he gets out, he's going to take care of them. Now, Donald Trump has not said anything about actually pardoning Diddy. He said that if he was given a crazy sentence, that he would consider it if he felt like he was done really wrong. But as far as anybody in the public knows, there hasn't been any type of pardon or deal or offer offered up to Diddy. However, Donald Trump does have a long-standing history of pardoning famous rappers. This is also the exact type of weird games that convicts will play when they're in prison to get protection or to stay safe or to be able to like hustle up what they need in there. I'm going to be out real soon and I'm going to take real good care of you.
I know is everything that I read in that article looked accurate.
Well, look, that's probably some relief to Diddy's team, you know. And
I don't know. I think they're moving ahead. I don't think anybody is counting on anything, and
right.
I think the reporting was accurate.
How did you hear he's faring since sentencing?
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully we'll see him soon and find out.
I guess lastly, I would ask, what do you think his future looks like?
I have the utmost confidence in Sean. I think Sean will make a comeback, the likes of which people are not expecting. So I've watched him. I've known him for a long time. I have the utmost confidence in him.
In whatever sphere. I mean, he's done business, the music,
he's iconic
the fashion.
in a lot of ways, and I think he'll make a comeback. I'll leave it at that.
Allegedly, just before leaving for Fort Dix, Diddy was targeted twice at MDC, including an incident where a knife was held to his throat. A corrections officer intervened, but it highlighted just how dangerous prison life can be for someone like him.
Diddy, obviously just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago. And I think suffice to say, it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve, although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately probably he was going to serve about 2.5 years or so, but it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve. And he has already, at least if you listen to people close to Diddy, been the victim of violence behind bars. So there was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up up, and this guy basically had him, and he had the knife, and Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy. It probably didn't help ultimately because he does get the 4+ year sentence. But again, this just is something that is the reality of life for Diddy right now. It's a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars who is now living in a prison cell and will be at least, again, for the next 2.5 years or so.
Some inmates reportedly want to teach Diddy a lesson. One of his lawyers said his biggest risk in prison is assault. While Diddy is wealthy, his past actions have made him a target, and he's aware of the dangers he faces.
Are you concerned Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing.
Welcome to the Two Angry Men podcast. Mark, Diddy is going to spend definitely 2+ years in a federal prison. I just want to lay this out right now. He is a target because they talked about this in court. They said somebody tried to shank him already, and that he is a big target. Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC, and that was thwarted. And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously injured or in prison. And so they're going to have to keep him somewhere that they can keep an eye on him. It would have obviously been better if he had gotten less time and had been at a camp, but he's going to be in a facility where somebody's going to have to, from the BOP, and I think they're well equipped to do it if they can, to keep an eye on him because he is a target.
One of Diddy's friends, and that's why the story is kind of has gotten a little bit more attention now today, because one of Diddy's friends has come out and spoken about it as well. And it according to the friend, it sounds like the guy said something to the effect of, "I could hurt you at any time," in a little bit of more threatening language, but said something along in that vein. And it does seem like it was an intimidation tactic, and it sounds like the guy could have obviously again hurt Diddy very badly, but chose not to for whatever reason. But saying, "I can get to you if I want to," and I mean, you've got to imagine that's an incredibly disconcerting feeling then for Diddy to not feel safe behind bars where he's got nobody there, he's by himself, and to know that somebody could get you at any moment has got to be really scary.
Photos from Fort Dix show Diddy reportedly meeting with other inmates, who some say he's been paying for protection. TMZ obtained images, and 50 Cent even mocked him on Instagram, captioning, "He looks happy with those handsome men around."
The biggest troll in the rap game, man.
Oh gosh,
it's
yes.
Diddy's birthday, November 4th.
Oh, yeah, man.
Today.
Yeah.
It's his birthday.
Yes.
And he happens to put up a post of him, and, there were some pictures released of Diddy on the yard with a couple other prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to see prisoners, right?
Yeah. You know, he had Bad Boy East, Bad Boy West. That's Bad Boy Prison stuff.
Yeah. But he put up a picture of those pictures, and he said, "He looked too happy to me with all them handsome men around." Good morning, New York City.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Dude, how does 50 get away with this?
I don't know.
Because we were talking about, man, 50 don't lose any brand deals. He don't lose any endorsements. He can walk in and sell TV shows.
Oh, yes.
He can be in the boardroom and also be petty as hell, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Even when he sat down with us, he kind of explained a little bit about him and Diddy and the beef.
I haven't had issues with Puffy. I don't like him like that. Like, I don't like things that he would do.
Right.
And make me uncomfortable.
So we're speaking on Diddy. We're speaking on Puff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have that thing where we ain't had no thing. I wasn't sending nothing at him, big. If it was on the street side like that, we would be actively doing things to each other.
I still don't understand.
And we wasn't doing that.
I was still trying to figure out, you do a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot.
You do a lot.
And the uncomfortable part was when he was talking to the Breakfast Club.
Uh-oh.
And he was mentioning how Diddy wanted to take him choppy.
He said something fabulous, and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Diddy's wealth reportedly gives him influence in Fort Dix. Other inmates, aware of his money, may try to get close to him, knowing it could benefit them once he's released.
The overriding factor there, I believe, is he's a guy with a lot of money. And I'll tell you, this happened to me when I went in there because of the profile I had, because of the way they wrote me up. I had everybody and their brother inmate trying to do a deal with me when I got out, a business deal. They need money. Because of the fact that he's a money guy, I think he's going to have more friends than he will enemies. And in a medium security, normally nobody's looking to shank you. When you get into the higher institutions, when people are doing, a ton of time and there's no way you can benefit them, then you got a little more problem. But in a medium security, I don't think he'll have an issue at all. I really don't. He can be too much of a benefit to inmates that are always looking for something. And he could be a golden ticket for some people, at least in their mind.
Diddy is appealing his conviction, but his legal team arguing that his sentence is too long. A federal judge has confirmed a hearing will review both the conviction and sentence. Still, chances of a successful appeal are slim, given his lengthy criminal history.
He has been granted a major legal win. A federal judge has approved his request to accelerate his appeal of conviction and sentence. His team will now submit their opening brief by December 23rd, with the prosecution due to submit theirs by February 20th, 2026. Additionally, the prosecution and defense is set to begin their arguments in April of 2026. This move could affect potential sentence reductions under federal programs, making this move especially significant.
In New York City, we are hearing Diddy's attorneys speaking to the media after he was sentenced earlier today. This is live.
Yeah, we are
absolutely filed a cross appeal. What would happen in that regard if they filed a cross appeal and then Sean Diddy Combs get a higher sentence?
He would not get a higher sentence, and they're not gonna cross appeal. We're gonna appeal. We think we're right, and they'll respond to the appeal, and it'll be decided by the Second Circuit as soon as.
Tell us about the conversation you had with your client after the sentencing.
Consensual. The judge clearly thought the sexual encounters weren't consensual.
Because he's biased.
What did you make of his remarks?
He's biased. I tell you what, I'm happy to go.
At least the judge was open-minded.
Diddy's challenges won't end after prison. He faces 5 years of supervised release with random drug checks, and any criminal activity could send him back behind bars. Despite this, reports claim he has resumed drinking, raising questions about his self-control.
He's now tagged with 2 felonies. He's not free to go about and do what he wants to do. For the next, 89 months or thereabouts, he's going to be under the control of the federal government. And that's no little thing for a guy like this. So here's what supervised release is going to be like for him. It'll be intense at first. They'll drug test him. They'll put monitoring software on his devices. They will, they'll have constant meetings and check-ins and that kind of thing once he gets out of prison. And as time goes on and he demonstrates compliance, the supervision will get less and less intense, probably to the point where he just has to call in once in a while. But if you get too complacent and all of a sudden, you don't register, or all of a sudden, porn's an addiction, right? And, if you're looking at porn all the time, guess what? It's tough to stop that. It just is. And I've known clients that have, violated their conditions over and over again, and they wind up going back to prison. And, the first violation could be like 18 months. The second violation could be this, or he could be demonstrating such good compliance that he gets off early. which happens quite often. Okay, well, now that but he still has to register as a sex offender. He still has to do all these different things. Even after he's off of supervised release, he'll still have to register. And if he goes to Miami, because his home's in New York, he's got to check in with the local sheriff and say, hey, offender in town. That's what he got to do. I mean, this is not an easy thing for him to have to deal with down the road. But is it life in prison? No, it's not. Is it 20 years in prison? No, it's not. Is it even 10 years? No, it's not. But it's still going to be something he has to deal with. So it's no little thing that he is part of this community of people that have to be supervised. And he gave the government a big foray into controlling his life. And that's what happens when you decide to break.
Diddy may have more menial tasks ahead. His release requires community work, and if his parole officer disapproves of the CEO role, he could be assigned jobs like collecting trash.
I also know that Diddy is going to be required to work 30 hours a week upon his release. Do we know if that's he can just do whatever he wants? He's the owner, obviously, of a company, CEO, or is this something that the state or the courts are going to mandate?
So this is interesting. It is pretty standard, and the legal language is work conscientiously at suitable employment. So that doesn't mean that the government can tell him what job to do, but it does mean that the probation officer can veto what he chooses. And the real point here is access and rehabilitation and not a lot of free time, requiring structure. So given that his employment is generally self-employment and a lot of free time, it's not clear here how the probation officer will respond to that, what sort of restrictions they will put. But yeah, the probation officer can say, this is not okay, too much free time on your...
Diddy's first mugshot has been released, showing the toll prison has taken. His hair is gray, and he appears stressed and anxious, a far cry from his usual appearance.
Diddy's mugshot has been released, and he also got in trouble for making three-way calls. CBS just did this new bombshell article, and they got their hands on court documents that even included Diddy's first mugshot since he's been arrested. But they also found out shortly after Diddy went to Fort Dix, he had got in trouble for making three-way calls. Which is actually crazy because we know that TMZ just ran the story that Diddy allegedly got caught drinking at Fort Dix also. But in a now deleted Twitter post, Diddy's PR person wrote that the rumors claiming that Mr. Combs was caught with alcohol are completely false. His only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family. But now we are knowing from court docs from CBS that Diddy did get in trouble for making three-way calls shortly after he made it to Fort Dix. And what's crazy is Diddy got in trouble for doing this when his whole case started. Shortly after Diddy was arrested, he was caught in the MDC making three-way calls. So he knows it's something that he's not supposed to be doing. Within a few days of Diddy's arrival at Fort Dix prison, he found himself in trouble. He made a 3-person phone call on November 3rd in violation of prison rules. He told officials it was a conversation with his legal team about issuing a statement to the New York Times.
Diddy's fall from billionaire luxury to prison laundry duty is getting messier by the day. The coming months could be even tougher, and we're tracking every update. Subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to stay on top of everything happening at Fort Dix and beyond.